Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? He wasn't there, guys. He wasn't there. Why do you keep dragging him into this? Just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true, ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, me old mucker? He's gonna murder someone. Leave me alone! There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to this situation in the first place. When these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
I didn't remember that was his name. You were right. It is his name. That is pure conjecture. Perhaps. But it changes nothing. Thank you for the host, Jumpy. Not changing the accent. There you go. And these brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder. Simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Yep, that's it.
Hold it!
Are you trying to suggest that you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't. Like we said at the time, you don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. No, there's two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Oh my god, poor Gregson. He's handling this very calmly. Like, I would expect more raging from him. He's just eating fries. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? It can't be just the one, because literally Sholmes was shot. The firearm use belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windibank always used to leave his gun lying around the corner. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windibank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true, I remember him saying that as well. We can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. From that one, maybe. But I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Then who the fuck shot Sholmes? Can we talk about that? Wonderful.
Hold it!
You mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps drawing would help. Oh no, the insulting has already started! Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door. That of the storeroom. Well, of course there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. The door was hidden behind idling. God, where are you going today? Why am I? It's not a good day for reading. The door was hidden behind a curtain and all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think. Oh, well, your turn to rob it, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose we have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways to hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. I'm sorry. We gonna fight today! Right. Somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. I chased after the person who shot Sholmes. I don't think that's very cowardy. The door was locked. It could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
Didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it? It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. With no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say? That's right, Governor. Nothing we hate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgeoners. Everyone pulled me dukes out of me Lucy lockets. So, you clearly like us to believe. As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? It's alive. They fired a gun, you see? Yeah. Holmes. Yeah, it was me. Was. Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before? Why did you lie? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. And London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. He didn't even bat an eye. He didn't. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Oh, more wine! We haven't had one leg or glass breaking, but he's been drinking some wine. Shut up for a second. I gotta look at the evidence you just put in here. Shut up. Wine? That's not wine. I'm going to assume just the ammunition, yep. Now, let me learn from the Nibblenia's friend. Yes. Here's to your success. Here's Why is talking so hard? I did grab a water and it's vanished. Pretty sure my child stole it. Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet is missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny at this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. Wait, but he's a witness testimony. It doesn't count. Oh, they can have a testimony! The criminals can have a testimony, but not me! That's rude. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Winterbanks that night. Oh gosh. What evidence shows that the witnesses unloaded a firearm? The blood? Gotta save because I'm only partially smart. It could be this because this has the blood samples. Would it not be the gun? It probably. The newspaper doesn't mention Sholmes. I want to say the gun itself shows evidence of being fired, but they want to know that night for certain. This wouldn't, would it? No, this is just a rough draw map. I feel like this would be it, wouldn't it? My first instinct was the blood, because it has the bullet literally in it.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do? How arrogantly Nipponese of you. I mean, did the police put any of this in their report? No! Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. You claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? We have a picture of a bullet! No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a fucking bullet! From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Thanks, Fenzix. He's so rude. But I love him so much. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Winterbeck's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight. This indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. I like Sholmes too, come on. He looks embarrassed. Van Zieks. How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks? Oh my god, are we throwing it? Who wants to take bets this glass is getting fucking yeeted? So quiet, I'm afraid the glass is gonna be yeeted. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? Ah! They got yeeted! There goes the glass! But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Hit the glass. I knew it was too quiet. Every time it gets quiet, he throws something. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Never mind us in the soup. We weren't gonna get into them details. I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? I don't like the way you said that. What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? As has been established at this point of their arrest, a single shot has been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and the victim. Technically, it was found in the goddamn fucking wall, not in Sholmes. Which meant there could have been another fucking gun, who knows? Did they find a bullet in Sholmes? They never said. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windebank at all. So that's it. What? I hate this. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. What a catalog, eh, fellas? I don't think he did. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. He mentioned him with quotation marks! Oh no! It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric says who? Not me, don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. That's one of Harry's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. You're just mentioning this now? The court will observe copious identical prints are produced in quite a serrated fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. I may refer the court to the plan of the premises. The respective positions are here and here. Why did you put them those 2 places? You see, these cameras produce a brick every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Oh my god, you guys should not be celebrating. You make yourselves look more guilty. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Then just after 1, right? In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh no. Oh no, Gina! As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Right, one can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please. Can we take all of them? I didn't get a chance to look through all of them. I feel like it's a bit cheap not to give me all of the fucking pictures. Bitch. You just give me 1? You need to give me the whole stack. Don't believe it. Ginny! In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly have killed Mr. Bank. Renisuke, you gotta stop doing that. Hey, my lord. But... Oh, hello? I don't trust your word. A ballet bullet to the knee in the battle. I want. 1880, don't you know? I remember you. Uh-huh. Of course, a medal can never outshine the explosive chaps like us in the battlefield. What is the point?
Oh, I can't even push a look out.
Oh, more wine. You gonna throw it again? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? No, no. That's what we are to understand? I don't. Fuck. Wait, no, it's too soon to make a judgment here. No, we just started this trial. Come on.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guys
Guilty.
are a bunch of fucks.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Old man shouldn't get to vote. He wasn't even paying attention. Does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous and is leaning already. Photograph. Must be the definite evidence that Gregson mentioned. They're all fucks at this current moment. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, here we go again. The defense wishes to assert its rights to a summation examination. Very well. The court grants permission. Are we gonna eat that again? I don't trust you with the glass in your hand, good sir. So you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. Hey, every time I have done this, I have won. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Abso-bolly-lutely, sir. I hate that. Okay. I don't like her. She's voting guilty so soon. It's rude. That's just rude. I don't think this man should be voting for anything, guilty or non-guilty, because he's not even paying attention to the fucking conversation. Weren't voting for that. The door was locked from inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by those witnesses. Mention this print! Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the volley trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear, how these cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. Regina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. Which means there's more to this situation than we've yet to see. Read. I love that everyone can read his fucking thoughts. I'm not talking out loud.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsumi's landlord, Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? You really must stop meeting like this. Oh, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did a rather lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. That's not exactly what you were doing! I'm just kidding. That's not how lawyering works. You were really trying to ask him out of the niceness of his heart to change his leaning. Oh, you tried, sweetie. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadeb house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni just yet. Bad enough the old girl's clapped up. Yes, can't be denied you did do a rather lot. But not for us, that's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course, there can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously. Obviously. But honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial, less to juror number 2. Oh. Man's hitting on the maid lady. Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done, not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick-pursers, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those backslums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we have people like the Great Detective working to achieve those important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. Maid juror likes Sholmes, Jumpy. I'm not gonna like that fact. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Oh, the mental image of that. Oh no. Sholmes in a maid costume? Oh, I'm sure if I googled that I could find it. Mr. Sholmes. A maid. It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Sholmes taking all of the ladies. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed, they're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Fuck off, Major. Can I press her again because her statement changed?
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Windibank. Nobody hates the maid. I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir. Sorry? Whether it was the thieves or the pick purse, it was all still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated. Considered opinion. Wow, you're kind of classist. Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this maid's mind isn't gonna be easy. Bruno, it was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it? Yes, without question. Oh, this tiny girl's gonna go off. Well, then I'll never forgive them. Oh, Iris. Perhaps we can use this maid's statement to help us somehow, do you think? Yes, maybe. Let's listen to carefully to what each juror has to say first.
Hold it!
I think so. I think she's technically classist because she believes in the upper class and not giving other people a chance that are poorer than her, which can be a race thing too. What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication the defender ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information. Why'd you vote guilty then? Ooh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find the stereoscope is here to stay. Giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. If only you could get another print.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that. Ah, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. Oh no! Did you leave something inside Sholmes? That was a scalpel? All I could think of is like the worst possible thing to leave in someone is a scalpel.
I've seen this where people have left forceps in it because they go to clamp off an artery or something like that and they accidentally...
Well, considering this is old-time stuff, I would assume a scalpel is most used. But we'll find out, I guess! A surgeon that totally passed me by. How did you not notice? Inosuke. And Himbo. Pay attention. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Ah, well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing. Went in through the abdomen. Oh no. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere! I told you! No! Oh no! I was right. So Sholmes has a knife in him! A very sharp knife! Oh my god. What? Did he? Surely not. Exactly, surely not, you say to yourself. Don't you worrying it, isn't it? Maybe you should call Sholmes back and find out! That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter! Ryunosuke's going hard! You're not wrong! If you think you've left something inside someone, you normally call them back to check. Not just leave it there! That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. No, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. Oh, God. I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Sounds like the twit that did the surgery on me.
Hold it!
Yeah, I'm allergic to that. Yes, as we found out, sir. So we gave you this. I'm deathly allergic to that.
He thinks he's annoying. He doesn't like Sholmes because he's annoying.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm deathly allergic to that. Yes, as we found out.
Are you from the Far East? I mean,
No,
yes,
I'm
he's
from the Far
Japanese.
Left.
From the Empire of Japan. Placed by mail. Okay. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. I love Sholmes. Thousands of miles of cable have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. I love you, Ryunosuke, you're dumb. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. And just when I was starting to catch up. This has nothing to do with what's happening in the actual courtroom. Is Brew okay also? Yeah, he's good. That was years ago.
Oh. No, actually, that's why I'm freaking allergic to everything and can't eat nothing. All in all, it was 20 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other side, look at what I got. I found a freaking Army of Darkness Xena crossover comic book.
You're adorable.
There's like no reason for this to like be.
You're
but, yeah.
adorable. I like when you get excited about silly stuff.
Army of Darkness and Xena. And the guy that plays Ash is the dude that plays Autolycus in the freaking Xena series. So it kind of fits. Oh, I'm sorry. I better tuck this away, my nerd is showing.
You're adorable.
Well, yeah, Jumpy, next time if I'm,
Alright, next time if I'm streaming, which will probably be my...
You two are mad at each other.
Anyway, next time I'm streaming, I will be streaming. Alright.
Okay.
Ask me about the, ask me about the surgery and what all went wrong, and yeah. Basically, it was from that to where I got my allergy to citrus, to tomatoes, to garlic, to everything else that I can't eat, and all the food I can't process. It was about 20 years ago, and it was just because I went in for a
Oh
kidney
yeah,
surgery.
Kitty, have you not seen?
yeah.
He does stream. He streamed like a week ago.
Yeah, every
I
now
have
and
a
then,
whole point system for it.
Yeah, every now and then someone cashes in their thing to where
I
I
need a water.
play like random games. Good, I'll take over. Um, I usually don't because I'm not good at like gaming stuff, but there are like certain games that I can play.
Is it meant to be in the water container?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't pay attention to the games I play. My games are like 20 years old or so, but I have a hard time like staying on subject, and I'll just go off on random tangents. So that's like my streaming thing. So yeah. So every now and then I'll do like once, maybe a month. I'll do like a good hour or two stream, and it'll be like some random. I got Borderlands. I got Diablo, which I'm not gonna play. I have a different game I'm gonna play. It's like a Sonic and Tails Mario 3D World Crash Bandicoot knockoff game. It's actually kind of cute. We found it by accident, but yeah, I'll be doing that like Wednesday or Thursday. Ow. Ow. Yeah. But yeah, it's okay if you don't remember to ask, because I probably won't remember we even brought this up at that point. My old age. Okay, she's changing a diaper and Jelly's not feeling too good. So it's probably the macaroni and cheese. Every time I make it. Okay, well, while they're doing this, um, I had a problem with kidney stones. Probably about when I was 19 or 20. Well, it was I just wanted to go get kidney stones removed. Because there was something in my body chemistry that I can't pass kidney stones. So they told me it was cutting me up from the inside out, and I was passing blood through places that I should not be. And so that's why I ended up actually going in, which, too much information on the stream, but okay. But anyway, the surgery itself went okay. They got the stones out and everything, so they put me in under the anesthesia, got that taken care of. Hang on. Anyway, um, the the anesthetic that I was on, I was okay with. But they're supposed to give you like painkillers or mild painkillers when you're coming out of an anesthetic, a surgery anesthetic. So when they wake you up, you're not, you know, going nuts in pain. They gave me my main medical allergies were like the Cillin drugs, the penicillin, ampicillin, amoxicillin, all the Cillins, codeine, sulfa drugs, and morphine. Those are were my main allergies. What is she doing? Anyway, can you not murder the kid on stream? Okay, so they gave me I think they said they gave me first morphine sulfate, which I'm deathly allergic to morphine. and deathly allergic to all sulfa drugs. And I was telling him, told him that. I'm like, dude, I have it on my list. I'm deathly allergic to both of those aspects. And all I got was, yes, as we found out. So apparently, uh, they had a. What happened was my heart stopped, and I started. There was something else going on, but my heart ended up stopping. And then they ended up getting everything back in rhythm, and they ended up cutting it with codeine. I think it was. It was either they gave me codeine first or they gave me morphine sulfate first. But anyway, my heart ended up stopping again. Um, and again, well, we decided to cut it with this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm allergic to that too. Yes, as we found out. So, as we found out, I didn't put it on the list or anything or a big ass long. Their excuse was that they said because I was so young, being like 19 or 20 at the time, that I could not have been aware of having that many medical allergies at the time. Because it didn't come from my parent. I was 19 or 20. I'd been on my own for a couple years at that point, checking myself in the hospital. But I couldn't be at 19 telling him, I had that, these many allergies. So anyway, um, because they ended up giving me that and they got me all back in rhythm and they got me all, fixed up, um, they had me sign a waiver and everything. They were basically crapping their pants. I was young and dumb. I didn't know I could sue the crap out of the hospital, which, I probably wouldn't, just character wise. I probably wouldn't do that. Wanted to be out of it. But what ended up happening was because of the complications of it, and it was specifically for kidney surgery. They ended up having to flush my system again, which I still to this day really don't know what all that entails. But they had me on a vitamin drip, which that sucked. Honestly, at the time I was about 185, 187 pounds. I was like really heavy into lifting weight. Right now I'm about 163 pounds, 163, 165, to give a rough estimate. Okay, so I was like heavy into lifting weights and all, but they told me they had to keep me there. I had to stay there for an additional 3 weeks to make sure everything was still going in order and everything. But I couldn't really eat anything or drink a lot of stuff. I could take a few things of their like hospital version of Pedialyte and stuff, but basically everything had to pass through an IV. But because it was specifically for my kidneys and liver, but mainly my kidneys, there was not a lot of food that I could eat. I couldn't process like a lot of red meat, no pork because of the salt content. I couldn't have. I had to cut out sodas, teas, and coffees because they're diuretics. They dry you out. Those are rough on your kidneys. I had to watch the amount of sodium that I had. If it's eating it, you couldn't have more than a 17% of sodium, and if you were drinking it, it couldn't be more than 3 to 5% sodium, um, because of the salt absorption in the body. And I went from 183 to 185 pounds in the 3 weeks. They basically had me on a vitamin drip to about 138. So I lost 50 pounds in the 3 weeks there because I could not have any intake. So yeah, it really was. And um, then after a while, I got an allergy to. Well, I already had a minor allergy to citrus, but anything that I have that has citrus in it, I have a really bad allergic reaction to. I can't have chocolate. Can't have anything with tomatoes in it. Can't have anything with garlic because garlic, when you cook with it, I found out cooks down into sulfa or sulfides. So I had to cut out garlic. Like I said, red meat and pork, I can have a little bit of it, but only minor amounts of red meat. Still can't do a lot of pork. Um, Nothing with thiamine, nothing with uh, the sulfa one. Actually, kind of kicks me in the ass because the thiamine and the sulfa, Thiamine is vitamin B1, which also helps with burns. I've actually had this one for a little over a month, and without B1, you don't really heal all that well. Um, Sulfa, which is really hard because even if you're, I have a problem with getting anemic because of the red meats that I can't have. Um, the majority of the sulfa vitamins are like something sulfate. You know, can't remember the first term of it, but the last part is always sulfate. So yeah, and it all just stems down to they didn't think that someone that young could know that they were allergic to that much. You know, and I just went in to have kidney stones removed, and it ended up screwing me up for the next like 20. Which is why you'll barely see me eating anything in the background, like ever. You know, I have like a specific small diet that I can do, which is kind of hard to keep up like 160 to 170 pounds when I can only eat once a day. And it sounds really terrible. It sounds really terrible, and it really sucked at first. Just because, like I said, I was into heavy bodybuilding and lifting weights and all that, and everything was pizza, pasta, steak, red meat, protein, everything else like that. And then went from that to, I'm like, you figure the majority of like pastas have thiamine and sulfides in them. Anything red based, even just the crap from McDonald's. Um, Forget about eating there, even though I work there.
Not recently.
No ketchup, no sauces, no barbecue sauce, no pasta sauces. I also have to be careful. It was so bad that I couldn't have tap water here in Arizona because of the calcium deposit. How sensitive my now it's not. It's just now my body's just used to that diet after 20 years, and like I said, it sounds really terrible, but yeah. So that's the joke of the yeah. As we found out, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm allergic to that. Yeah, as we found out, so we gave you this. Oh yeah, I'm deathly allergic to that too. Keyword on the word deathly allergic to it. Yeah, as we found out. Oh, it took my heart stopping twice, and me being up there on a vitamin drip and a big ass IV, um, losing 50 pounds. They're like, no, you'll be fine. Here, sign this. You're up and you can walk around. Just sign this. Say you're okay. And of course, like I just said, I was mad at the time initially, but honestly, I was more interested in just getting out of that damn hospital after, especially after 3 weeks of keeping my ass in the bed.
No. Who's your what?
I know. Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
No cream. Okay.
So now that little one's taken care of and all that, I'm gonna go finish working out. And didn't mean to depress you guys if it did. It's just one of those. This is what she had to walk into, because I love cooking pasta and all the other stuff for her, and then she's constantly like, "Oh, what can I make you to eat?" Oh, right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Anyway, it's good. Like I said, it's just something I had to deal with. It's not like a bad thing with me. I joke about it now. But so, I appreciate if you guys are sad for me, but it's okay. Yeah.
Best if she's out here.
Sit.
Alright.
Watch your tiger.
Alright. Make you comfy out here, okay? Alrighty. Where were we?
We're depressing all your viewers.
If I couldn't guess. Bet I do say that again. Go on, I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be. Yes. Marinosuke shows some respect. what do you need? Oh, you need Daddy? Daddy take care of you? You want me to... Daddy, you need to take care of baby. You too, Bear. Go on. Take care of baby. Created the whole story. Alright. Here we go. Absolutely, I mean really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are no practical use at all. This has nothing to do with the actual case. You just don't know. Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What are possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it would reveal hidden clues you've never even noticed before. Have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope? We? I mean, we do. Technically. They're not the same, but we do have 2 prints. What? No, what is it? Oh, those are her vitamins, aren't they?
Yeah.
I haven't been giving them to her because he said she wasn't getting fluoride, but... Trying to get me to pick up new ones, and I don't want to give them to her because she... Yeah, he said at her age they get... Yeah.
This is just multi.
He said they're fluoride heavy. But she brushes her teeth and...
So
No. Not worried about her fluoride intake. Yeah, because I guess he was thinking we didn't use adult toothpaste with her, but we do. And that has plenty of fluoride in it. I think so. I mean... I have this one. And this one.
Take that!
what happens every time she's not that.
I don't think it's that. She was doing this yesterday too. Maybe that's it. I'm just saying maybe it was really bad. That she has a tummy ache though. Nothing really right now that would be good for her tummy. Laying down and resting.
Chocolate would be good. A piece of chocolate?
I'd like you to demonstrate. Okay.
Take that!
God, are you gonna insult me?
These will help your tummy feel better.
I know! Like, do they have to be the same photograph? Okay. I mean, you're not supposed to, you could like the same characters I do, Jumpy. It'll save you so much trouble. Alright. Crying. Can it really show up new clues though? Don't know unless you try. Oh, it's just gonna go through the same thing again.
Take that! Take that!
Okay. I was saying if he was gonna give me new conversation. Not this again. So we'll come back to him later when we have another print. Which we should. That might be it, actually. No, well, I like Huntress. Even though you're here with us, we'll be right here. We're both doing the best to take care of you.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not villain Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Yeah, I believe there is such a rumor. Just a rumor? As you see, I have an unfortunate appearance. I look like a vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just want to point that out. I do like Yuki. There's some really good Yuki Majima fics. Gonna point that out right now. Which glove fits? I thought he was about to pull out a glove, to be honest. No, can you bring me one? Well, actually, no, I don't have a headache now. I don't want to take one if I don't have a headache. Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like a vicious criminal all the time. It is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathy for these brothers. People say they are criminals, only because of how they look. Vulcan brothers? Yeah, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say. No, he was Russian. Yes. I can only do Russian. Okay? I can't do Romanian. He technically in this game has an English accent. He's English. Leon. But Sholmes already has my English accent, therefore I have to give a different one to Vampire Man.
Give him a Dracula accent.
I'm not good at that. That's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away.
I don't say blah blah blah.
Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Runo? Heroes are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
We don't talk about Runo. No.
We don't talk about Runo. No. Don't. I've just gotten that out of my head. Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks all like the world for a revolutionary? I wish I knew. I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors. The trial will be over. But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone. Yes, so we need to find contradiction on what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. Can we pit the stereoscope person and the radio person even though they have nothing to do with the case? Like, would that count? They're not even talking about the case, but we could pit them against each other. Okay. I kind of want to put her against the Russian guy, but we'll get there. Okay.
Objection!
These two statements clearly contradict each other. They contradict the case. I'm gonna point that out. But they do contradict each other. You... I hate every bit of you. Penis.
What?
Suck my dick. I hate this game. They do contradict each other. They're both not talking about the case, though.
All I heard was something you mumbling on your mouth.
None of these really sound contradicting to each other.
Objection.
Oh, okay, the music stopped. That must be the correct answer. Counsel, explain yourself. I don't even know. I'm just guessing now. Juror number 6, you got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse! I don't know why that was so funny! You're not wrong, bro! You do got a mouse! As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene of the night in question, they fired a shot from the revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir. Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear? Forgive me, I did not hear. Ugh. Ah, here is word abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organ. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker. And he can't say it in plain English, bro! Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again? So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying? They said before we'd never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective, yeah? This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, don't squeeze the mouse! Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means let the poor fucking mouse go, bro. When they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now! It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. I must see with my own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily. Sorry. With the Prince from Halley's red-handed recorder. Ah, if you compare the print, the pictures, Ginny, and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Then we get our second print. This is what we needed, okay. Cooey, Mr. Wait. What did she just... Is she calling Van Zeek's Cooey? Or is that her way of saying hello? Iris! What's happening? Mr. Prosecutor? What? Calling on the prosecution in the middle of submission examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Yes, we have that one. We wanted the one after. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight. Give me that, because I need it for something. This was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell. Nothing has been taken. That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. I thought she was calling Van Zeeks that. What happened, baby?
This one's still done.
You can plug it in down here if you want. Or you can use your Switch while you wait for it to charge. Want that? Okay, I will charge this, and you can have your Switch, baby, okay? And if you want a different game, you can get a different game. What? I thought you wanted me to charge this. You don't want your Switch either? You wouldn't insult him. Technically, she doesn't know yet. They're family. I don't think she knows at this point, but... might not charge very well. Okay. So, the brothers who look like wormholes told only one lie. They shot the man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. This trial, none of them make sense. None of the jury knows what the fuck's going on. Yay, well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we might just turn the situation to our favor still. Okay, so I need this for this other guy. Now I know what we're doing. Maybe then, after we do this, we can pit the two against each other. We can make use of that. Can I... Actually, hold on. Can I... Okay, we can't even press him for any more information. Okay. Okay, hers didn't change at all.
Hold it! Take that! Take that!
Okay. Hello, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with slight shift in positions of some objects. And when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift as it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the two pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? No. Obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway. Oh! Oh! Of course, now I see. I think the young girl's discovered the secret. I have! I hate when they cross their eyes. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? Aw, thank God I'm not the only one who's uncomfortable. Have another look at these two pictures for Harley's camera, Runo. Go on. Okay. I see it! I see it! I see it! There's a square on the door that wasn't there before. That's it, right? That's the only difference. No, Bruno! I'm gonna call you Bruno now, because I'm insulting you. No, stupid, look at the picture. There's a fucking box up here. There's a square in the door, Bruno, look. Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now... try looking at the picture in 3 dimensions. You don't even need to look at the picture in 3 dimensions to see the difference. Mm-hmm. You don't need to even do that to see what's happening. Just pointing that out.
Cute.
You're cute. Yes. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking cross my eyes, bitch. I'm just gonna use the machine. Okay. Other amazing power. Is someone going to explain this black magic? But that's not the thing that was important. Okay. But what about the door? Can we not talk about that? That feels the actual important thing. Me? I haven't the first idea. You know, Bruno, it's quite simple. It is. Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some of the items on the counter appear to have shifted slightly in the interim. Are we not going to talk about the fact that there was no fucking box on the door at 1 a.m.? We're not going to talk about that at all. That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Really? Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Of course. I can tell you right now who's responsible for the almost... Oh my god. Oh. Shut up. I don't... Probably the fucking thieves, but let's assume that I'm stupid and get that wrong. I would like to save. We would assume... Hello, you. Why are you still here? Are you gonna pop back up again? I would assume... Oh, you can only pick one of them? What if it's not either of them? What if it's actually... you? Or you? Okay, let's just assume it's... Go with this.
Take that!
It was the witnesses Curly in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Stop squeezing the rat! This does not agree with what the brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. But is this another lie? Is that what you were saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. You can't be sure of that. I quite agree. The accused is a common purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things of the dust to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely. As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated... Did he just use Van Zeek's phrasing? Hello? Hello, Ryanuski? Hello? We just used Van Zeek's words. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. Because the Skulkin brothers are the thieves, madam. No better, in fact worse, than a pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves? He just banged his head on the table! Scales of justice. I hereby call the summation examination to a conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. I order this trial to continue. Yay! Well done! Oh, by the way... What? You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful. Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright. Are we not gonna talk about the stupid... Oh my god. Listen. No, you're pissing me off now, dude. There is clearly a big difference in these two pictures on this fucking door. And are we not gonna talk about it? It's pestering the fuck out of me. Well, this is all our evidence for the trial. Boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do. Yeah, we like pressing each other's buttons. Us boys, says the 10-year-old girl. No reason to really see in here. Oh god, I clicked it again. Lord Van Zeeks will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my... Won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night, at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. The game phrases things on purpose. I'm starting to get that. part 1 of the trial. Okay, do this. But now you look really nervous. Last time it was thrusting, that's true. I love the phrasing. Here, Mr. Skulkin. Going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you injured Winterbase. However, that was a lie. You brothers. On the night in question, you rifled through the items in the victim's counter. You both are dumb. You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time, you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Ah, he broke it! Jesus, good lord, sir. And that gentleman may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. I mean, you're already going to jail after this, there's no doubt about that. Oh my god, Vince just looks like he's ready to punch someone. Oh my god, this poor man. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. Can't just be coincident that these men showed up at Winterbake's that night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? I mean, you were up to no good. In fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in even more trouble. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses. Explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? He really looks like he's gonna reach over and punch the witnesses. I feel for this man. He's only here probably because he wants to fight against us. And he's gotta deal with this shit. His fucking expression. What you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much you knocked all of those things off the counter. You've really mastered working quietly. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
Is that right?
What is wrong with you? That you're aggressively eating fries?
Excuse me.
Gregson. Dr. Gregson, do you have something to add? Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels. No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now to what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something? It's probably nothing, of course. I wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... They're called chips. I'm sorry, he was munching on chips aggressively. Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details. How about you just tell us what's on your mind? They were... Yeah.
Oh, chips.
Chips, yeah. As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave us told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Yeah, he said, "Oh crap, don't shoot me."
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here, eh, fellas? If I discover the witness' testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishments to bear against them. I can't pronounce that right now.
Yeah, I see that. You did the high school thing where you just kind of skip over real quick. Where if they are...
Oh my god, he's gonna murder you. I feel so bad for him. Because these are the witnesses he brought onto the stand, and now he just probably wants to strangle them.
Speak or I shall shake my quaff.
Supplement your testimony with whatever details have miraculously returned to your questionable minds. Sirs. He's so tired, I feel so bad for him.
Right you are, Gov.
Okay. So what the fuck did you leave out?
Just before the luncheon, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Hold it!
No!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously?
Simultaneously. We did, Gov, we did. Although, I suppose if you're being honest, we had a kind of wavering voice before the yelling.
Okay, that would have been Gina.
If you don't want to get shot,
Oh, poor Gina.
give me that gun. Bam! And then he fell down right on his bum. That kind of thing.
The career in acting tragically missed.
You have no idea. Then this rancid tart came out from the clouds on some sort of umbrella. Oh, wait. And where the voice is coming from, would you tell?
Oh, I wasn't looking at you to read that. I was just looking at you.
Cool. You could from the other side of the door behind the counter, it was.
From the storeroom, where the victim was found dead? And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windabank? Why are you turning around? Oh my
On
god.
me granny's life. Of course it was.
Oh my gosh. Why are you doing this, Mario and Luigi?
On his granny's life, of course it was.
It's your granny too, why did you... You're brothers!
I can do a bad Cockney accent, dude.
So that would mean... that you both knew Mr. Windabank and the sound of his voice?
So that would mean... wait, what? Oh crap. What? Nosh, what? Any ideas?
Yes, Council, indeed it would. You guys fuck the fucking fuck shit up.
We didn't know the geezer. Nah, no. Am I supposed to deny it? When that bloke in the fancy club was giving us the evil eye.
He's so upset! I just want to hug him! If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
Can we just let him kill us, guys?
Please!
On me granny's life it is.
Please, Van Zeeks, just murder them. You need to.
Yeah, on his granny's life it must be.
It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then hear the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
Yeah, make it sound like we're clumsy.
Well, I mean, he is Scottish, so he can do accents in that area better than me.
Don't forget we tied you up after, like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it...
You don't have to read that one, it's already been read. I gotta press him.
Hold it!
What?
You're saying that Mr. Windabank had a gun in his hands?
No, he had it... Oh, yeah. That was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other must have been pretty heated. I mean, you know, just before they shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot and all, you know.
It's too good though, anyways.
Didn't really sound like he meant it, mind you, but, you know, more of an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Windabank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. You're now part of it. You did this without me asking, so you did this to yourself.
You were stumbling over the bus.
People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course. Yeah, he threatens to shoot himself a lot. Good grief, extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided.
Well, it certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night, yeah? Only the person he was going to shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting
You don't
time
have
shouting,
to do
"Give me
this."
that gun," didn't he?
You don't have to read this. And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot? Yep.
Oh, it was, yeah. He said, "Give me that gun." Bam! They shot him right in the tit, he did.
Okay, let him go. Don't force him. Don't force him. Yes, the current acting very tragically missed.
You know, the sound of someone hitting the deck. Before everything went all dead quiet. After that, we done a slapdish job tidying up the place. Wow, I stumbled over that one.
Hold it!
So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then?
Not on your life. I went deadly quiet after that, did. I put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way it was open. No way that was opening.
Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov, it was from the inside. Right. So we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom.
Yeah, like a window.
Like through the keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps?
What are you doing? Have you covered that up? Well, really cut the we'll really cut the mustard.
Please,
The fuck is with
cut
that
it
saying?
out.
Why do they say the moon posing?
I don't know. But as we know, behind the door was the victim's lifeless body, the accused, not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Dana was in there, unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom?
That's right, Cove. That's right. We could now, even if we wanted to. Remember, it was locked, you see. We stuck everything back where we found it, and up and straight into him.
You're making fun of me for reading.
I don't have my glasses on. I didn't think it'd keep going.
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, yeah. Where was the base? See there? We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking a bit like a leaf, and then you lot turned up.
If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand.
Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, your mind kind of totally went blank there.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Eurus is having none of this shit.
Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but apparently we looked a bit dodgy to the coppers or something, and they clapped the jobbies on us like winking. Ow.
You are doing this all on your own. You can stop at any point. And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah. But listen, that proves it, doesn't it? We could have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
Fuck off! Stop saying hold it!
Why should we believe that?
Ask your mama. Oh, wait, cause it's true, isn't it? I love it when English say, isn't it? And the place was totally empty when we went in. I just thought you said that they were on the floor and they were all... The fuck, dude?
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had a gun to his head.
Eh?
In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windebank. Correct? Which means the voice they heard could have been someone else.
You got it, mister. Down to a T.
So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windebank. Is that really true, I wonder?
Skulking.
Oh. Yeah, oh wait. Wanna see my favorite name? Where is he? Hey, look at people.
Egbert, really? Fucking really?
Benedict Cumberbatch. Is the only-
No, Eggs Benedict.
I know, but I also think because Sherlock Holmes
And
is
it's
in
a
this.
white holiday sauce.
Yep.
Being English.
Yep, that's my favorite name I've
What's the
encountered.
one next to him?
This one?
Next.
This one? Yeah. Wait, what? Yes, Jumpy, tell me your theory before we continue. I'm pretty sure that Egbert Benedict is gonna come back and he's the person that shot the guy. Right now. 100%. Because that means they didn't actually hear the voice of the proprietor because they don't know what the proprietor looks like. I'm sure everyone on the internet has asked this already, okay? What?
You have to give us like the rest of life.
I know. Thanks, Benedict, that idiot. He came up in the beginning and hasn't come back up again, which means he's the murderer. Is Mario their last name? No. It's Skulkin. I did already say they look like Mario and Luigi.
They look like Wario and whatever the other dude's name is.
Waluigi, yeah. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? What is it, Rano? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired. Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. There's nothing more than a feeling, though. I've no proof to support it. Well, feelings can be very logical at times. Sorry. People's expressions, the movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You could take all of that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about their testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts.
It bugs me that she
Hear
does
it?
the same
Thank you.
animals that Jelly does.
Sometimes
Oh.
I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Francesca, you just insulted yourself! God! Dr. Mario and his brother Luigi Mario. Oh, gosh. You want me to listen to the testimonies again?
Alright, we did knock a few things
Okay, you don't
over,
have to
but
read
we
it, 'cause I'm gonna
weren't
skip
rifling
through it.
for nothing.
Okay, we're gonna save first. We might have to present evidence.
Why?
No, I'm just saying, I'm gonna skip through it really fast because I've already gone over this.
Hold it!
So let's see if anything. How can they be the Mario Brothers? She really hates that. I just love his face. You and his sisters.
Hold it!
Well, I mean, he's sticking to that part of the story.
I'm just gonna make sure I wasn't missing anything. Sometimes you have to go over them twice.
Oh, this is one you already went over.
Yeah, I have to find out the thing that I need to pick up. On. That might be one of the spots that is weird. Dante Brothers.
Hold it!
There you go.
It'll take a minute, but it'll help your tummy feel a lot better.
Both have the last name Mario. That's weird.
Yeah, Mario, and Luigi Mario.
I hate that.
It bugged me so much.
Hold it!
Maybe that could be a way to do it. Because we have a picture of that. Mario and Luigi.
Hold it!
It's still good. That was my favorite Catherine Tate thing. Anything you say, oh, you're in bad trouble, isn't it?
No, I can't figure out what I'm missing. I'm guessing the green blood must be Sherlock. Wait a minute. I do want to point out, if she was laying next to him, they were having a conversation, yelling about how he has a gun and she should put hers down. She wouldn't have shot him in the back. It would have had to be someone else. I don't think that's what I need. I think this one. Because this one shows that there's a little window pane. Maybe it's this one. I don't know if we're supposed to present yet, but I can't think of what else to do.
Objection!
Oh, I was wrong. I hate when you do that. Oh. Okay. I'm dumb, okay? Why there's a save feature? My phone. I need to look up what I need to do. Speaking about the air, yes. I think I've done all the talking to them that I could. Okay. Press crimes. Okay, so I am supposed to present the crime scene photograph. But which one? Maybe, we'll get to it. We'll see. I'll play one, but if I don't like it, I'm not playing the rest. Gonna point that out. This one? Maybe? Was it maybe it's this one?
Objection!
Oh! I don't need a new series. I don't want new series. I like old one. And I don't want a new one. I would like to just play games. This year's Final Fantasy, Jumpy. Final Fantasy and Persona. That's the theme. You're saying that on the night in question, the victim, Mr. Windibank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You got the picture? Okay. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows. I don't want a new series. I don't actually like having a bunch of new series. I just want to play the series that I'm already into. And Mr. Windebank was not holding a firearm of any description. I just picked the wrong picture. No, but I'll also be playing SMT. And Devil Survivor. So technically, I'll be playing a lot of Atlas games. So technically, it would be Atlas in general. I won't be streaming them, but I'll be playing them.
You.
It's the same thing as me playing the Square Enix games, okay? Actually, technically, this year was a lot of Square Enix too. I did Square Enix and Yakuza. I don't want a new series. I don't actually like getting into new series. I played Like a Dragon and Persona as a joke. And then I got really into them. It was actually completely funny because I never wanted to get into either series. I played Persona 5 to shut up a GameStop friend. And now I really like Atlas games. And then I played Like a Dragon because it looked stupid enough that I wasn't gonna like it. And then I ended up liking it. Also, this is the year of sequels, Jumpy. Every single sequel to every single game series comes out this year. This is the sequel year. We've got God of War possibly. They keep saying it's been bumped back into next year, to this year. Horizon Zero Dawn, Elden Ring, FF Origins, which is technically a remaster / sequel to FF1. We could have Resident Evil stuff. The DLC for Resident Evil is supposed to be this year. The DLC for Lost Judgment is supposed to be this year, which is technically they've said is going to lead into the sequel because yes, there'll be another Man of Medan. Yeah, I've got it. I'm trying to think of what else comes out this year that will definitely. Hold on, I have a list. I have a list of everything. Also, I'm playing another Atlas game that isn't an Atlas game. Monarch is by people who left Atlas. So technically, that is in its own way kind of a sequel. I did, but it's not out yet. I paid for the pack. But Kaito's DLC isn't out until sometime this spring. And it's like 10 hours or something. Okay. FNAF Security Breaches this year, the physical version. That's a sequel to something I've played bits and pieces of. They've actually paid off. E4 Arena is a sequel. Alan Wake I might play. It's already out. Dead Space Remake. No, I didn't. I'm waiting for it to be out. I paid for the pack, which includes that, so I won't have to pay for it when it comes out. But no, it's not out until spring of this year. No, I'm definitely going to play it on streams because it's a 10-hour story-related thing that they said could set up the next game if they can't use Yagami. Spider-Man 2 might be out this year. We've got another Marvel game, which just to me counts as a sequel. Even if it's not connected to anything. I've got both Mario Rabbids, so I'm gonna play both of those, so technically sequels. Bravely Default 2, technically a sequel. I played the first one. No, there's another one called Spider-Man 2. Miles was technically a side story. It wasn't technically a main game. Also, the only series I'm getting into this year is Danganronpa, and that is to shut you up. I don't know, but I was planning to play that whole series. Oh, the other Ace Attorney is technically a sequel. That's on my list to play the other Ace Attorney games. I'm not counting Persona Q. I'm counting Arena because Arena is a sequel to 4. Persona Q is still gonna get played this year. I'm also gonna play the first World Ends With You, even though I know the story because I've just never streamed it. More Monster Hunter DLC. A Monster Hunter. I've got to finish the main game, but still DLC. I'm gonna play the original Ace games because I've never wanted to play This is another series that I thought was really fucking stupid. Like, I've seen memes for the original Ace Attorneys, and I was like, God, this game is fucking nonsense and stupid. And then I watched Crystal play this one, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this a try. And now I'm fucking into this. So now I've got to play the original. Which are technically a sequel because this is the origin stuff. I will play YS at some point. I've still got to finish Assassin's Creed at some point. Maybe I'll go back to .hack. I don't even know if I have my save for .hack anymore. Maybe I'll just restart that too for the 17th million time that I've owned that series. MSG 5. I've got so much. Technically, I'm waiting for all the games that come out. Because January's good, but then we've got all the games that come out in February, and I've only paid off 2 of them. Okay.
Objection!
Why? Maybe. We'll see. I have to replay that, and it's just so much worse to replay than .hack. Stray, I wish Stray was out this year. I wish Vampire Masquerade was out this year. We've still gotta play some Steam games, guys. Dragon Age 4 has the possibility of coming out this year as well, which would be great. There's no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterberg's gun was found at the scene. I'm more likely to give you YS than Danganronpa because I don't have to pay for YS. So you're more likely to get that because you've already given me YS. Not only is it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hand. He's never done this! He leaned into the picture! Hello? But he was shot from behind. Okay.
Hold it!
I have to get online mode again. I don't want to pay for it right now. I know that Ash wants to continue playing the zombie game. Maybe next paycheck. Stay exactly where you are, right there. If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Now I use those pictures, right? Right? Or do I use that where is it? Or would I use the autopsy report? Yeah, a single bullet wound from the back. Maybe we use this.
Take that!
I have no idea. According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, It would mean that the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Now I can use the other picture. How did you see it? Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Windibank holding a gun? Van Zeeks is gonna murder people! Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw, with their own eyes, the victim wielding a gun. I really want them to have Persona 3 come out this year. You do not understand, Jumpy. Don't give me that hope. I would love Persona 1 and 2. Honestly, just give me a collection of Persona games. I wouldn't even be mad at another SMT game. They actually did announce that they were very proud of how SMT 5 did, and they would like to bring more games from both series, because they're seeing how well they're doing. Persona 6 has every fucking chance of at least having more announcements, because they announced they're working on it. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Witnesses, explain yourself at once. I mean, I'm not gonna replay it again. I might replay Strikers at some point, though. For fun.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind Persona 4 on Switch because that means no trophies. That's the good thing about those games. No trophies. I like Switch for that one reason. Oh my god. Fancies. It would seem that my previous warning fell on Death Eaters. Yeah, I want SMT5 to kind of be on PS5, though. It did so well on Switch, they really should bring it over. And it was so pretty on Switch. Yeah, Persona 5's good. They did bring over 13 Sentinels to PCs, to Switch. So there's every chance that they're slowly bringing over stuff. I like the no trophies. It means I could just play the goddamn game. And I still did stuff, like I 100%ed the Demon Compendium. I fought every mini-boss, I got every ending. Like, even without the trophies, I still did stuff. I made it quite clear that false witness be the death of you. This man is gonna murder, and I'm all for it. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. I love watching him threaten people, oh my god. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. No. Nope. See, when I'm given trophies, I'm less inclined to actually do extra stuff in the game. Because then I feel pressured, and I don't like it. But if you give me, like when I played PS2 games, I would actually do more of the games. Like, I accomplished more in the original 10 and FF12 than I did with the trophy versions. Because as soon as you put trophies in a game, I immediately don't want to do anything for it. But if you don't, I immediately want to do more. Like, FF10 and FF12, I actually did every single side quest in the game in the original version. And I even got the Lightning Dodger not trophy, but I originally got her weapon, Lulu's weapon, because I didn't have a trophy making me do it. Like, when I don't have trophies, I set goals for myself individually, and I actually end up doing more than if the game has trophies. So SMT5, I actually did a lot. Just because I wanted to. So this is just a warning, I'm just buy all games on Switch. Maybe, that'll make me happier. I just don't like playing with the Switch controller. Gotta be honest on that. On the night in question, it is now apparent the two brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. On the pain of death. I love this guy. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Oh yeah, because they could just murder you for lying back then. Okay, here we go again. I'm almost done with trophies. So many. You're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop. There has been no leg this stream. Poor Van Zeeks is so fucking pissed off, he's not even doing his sexy leg shit. Just visual novels? I'm actually going to be playing Switch games. I'm gonna try to get through my Switch games so that I can slowly get more. My Switch list isn't very long, it's like 9 games. So, we're gonna play Mario vs. Rabbids on Friday. Which might be 2-player. Pretty sure. Yeah. Very well, counsel for the defense. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for.
Hold it!
Well, so many trophies. The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom. So it was seen the victim was already in the storeroom when the brothers entered the premises. I feel like I earn about 20 per game usually, sometimes more. Which means Ginny must have been in there at that point as well. But that doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank into the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would he have emerged from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived? Oh, I don't know. Did you see the accused at that time? Hey, Ish! Alrighty, thanks for the lurk.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Winterbank shouted those words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them on the other side of the storeroom door. But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Okay. Was the victim Mr. Winterbolt wielding a gun at the time? So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Winterbank with the gun at the time, is that right? we're clearly all going for each other.
Hold it!
Yes, I noted that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony, too. In fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter. At the time in question, the alarm was raised to the local police station via a secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim. That's right, when the brothers fled the scene and back on the street. They ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they? Poor Mr. Windibank, he did everything he could to protect his shop.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank? By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes. And then, the man fled into the storeroom and you pointed your gun at him? Is that it? There's something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true. I wonder why Mr. Windibank ran away into the storeroom. Well, according to what everyone's saying, Mimi was there waiting for him with a gun. Maybe he was trying to protect her. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windibank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windibank's hands again? She probably gave it to him. I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it? This little inconsistency could be anything. So this one has something specific about it that I need to pull up again.
Hold it!
You say you had nothing to do with it? So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Not true. Inside the storeroom with the pawnbroker, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade. Don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank? There could have been. From the moment you admitted that you had encountered the victim face to face that night, the course of this trial changed completely. What is your point, my learned friend? One of those days, that's going to be a compliment and not an insult to me. The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windibank? And it is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the only possible answer at all. You have my attention? In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts, so pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be? I will say it my way, Jumpy. Odd. My lord, twice as many chances to be right, maybe. Indeed, namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? Through the little flappy. I know this answer! Where was the victim at the time? I know this, we got this, buddy. Are you alright, Rudo? I'm not entirely sure. There's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely. So now, time for some clarity. Show the court on this plan the answer to the question posed by his lordship. Oh, I gotta show you on the plan? Okay, wait, we're gonna save, because I'm gonna click on the door, but I don't, just in case this game wants something else. I do not care. I will pronounce it learned, okay? That's how we're doing it. It would have to be right here.
Take that!
The defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here. Oh my god, Benji's gonna say something sassy, but I have proof. I've had proof for like the last hour, but we just now getting to it. In answer to the second question,
Why is there even like a right space?
assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated, where was the victim at the time? Is it right here?
Take that!
The defense believes that the victim would have been in the position here.
Objection!
Don't yell at me. What your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on the plan. Shut up, I know what I'm doing. I'm changing the accent as I yell at you.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Oh no! Oh no, I was wrong?
Those little star things and directions that you
I was wrong? But that is where he would have had to be. I mean... Okay, wait. I was not wrong. I was not wrong. That's how it would have done because there's a flap in the fucking door. But how do I need to... Hold on. You have to do this a specific way.
Feeling better, Jelly? Not feeling better?
Hold on. Hold on. No, I would like to go back to my save. That way I don't lose my point. I think I just had them in the slightly wrong position, which is so fucking annoying. Point behind the counter. So right here. I hate that you have to get it exactly right in a thing where you have no hints on how to get it exactly right. Like, I had it in the places they would have been, but I didn't have it exactly.
Are you facing the right side of the door, or are you facing this way?
Well, if you're
and this
wanting
is
to
this
shoot
side?
into the storeroom, I'm assuming this is the right side.
If you're going into the storeroom, then...
No, the storeroom is the store right here.
Oh, this is the storeroom.
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is why I don't help.
Guessing it means like right here.
Take that!
I hate that it doesn't tell me if my first one's right. Point to the left of the door inside the store. And like right over here? It doesn't say where particularly.
Take that!
idea what you're talking about. Continue. That pisses me off because I literally said that. I literally said that, but it was like an inch off of where they were standing. It's the same fucking thing! Game.
Who knew an inch makes all the difference?
He's going to make died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter where the fatal bullet was fired? It might have been, I have no idea, Jimmy. So you were adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom. Well, according to the Skulkin brothers' earlier testimony. Mr. Winterbank ran away through the door. We have to assume that the door was open at the time. At precisely that moment when the victim was fleeing for his life, the brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back once he was inside the storeroom. Yeah, it's Kazuma's sword. I guess we're allowed to have that. I just hate that I had it right. Which is the reason I double checked, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm right. But just had to do it in a certain inch over. Fucking piggy ass game. Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial? His name is Van Zeeks. Or Legman, if you want to be particular. On a rising diagonal trajectory. Which one of the brothers is short? Yes, this is why they assumed it was Gina, but one of the men is short. Oh man, shot while he was running as fast as he could to safety. Of course! He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was fired horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. Oh, you know this?! This is the thing you know, Rainusuke? So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten. The storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. I have a picture. I know what I'm doing! You claim the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock? But, don't do this, Rainusuke. Stand your ground. What if someone else locked the door?
Okay, dude. He could have.
The door could automatically lock as it closes.
That is true.
Most storeroom doors are like a vault. They would automatically close and lock. Wouldn't need to turn a key.
Well, that doesn't mean he died right away. He could have locked it before he, like, fell over and bled out.
Yeah. Yes, there's someone else who could have locked the storeroom door. Gina! Gina was in there. I know exactly. It had to be Gina. Gina was in the room. We already know that.
No. Gina was at the diner all day. She cries in the night and how to whispers babies.
In which case, who shut and locked the store door? I don't even need to save. I'm confident. Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd.
That's not an argument, dude.
You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? If she was scared? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel?
Fuck off, Santa Claus. He's right.
Yes, that's a tricky one. That is Rainusuke.
Dude, he had, like, a good argument.
He does, and then he gets nervous. Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please. But of course Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it? It does? The 10-year-old allowed to help me, can I? I'm glad she's helping me. But she's 10. Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they? Oh yes, obviously. Like I said, out of fear. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Windibank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at that time, but at some point, Mr. Windibank must have heard the intruders breaking in his shop and left the storeroom.
No, it's alright, Jen.
Okay.
If your theory is correct, that would leave the accused alone in the storeroom.
Not stay there.
Yes, it would. Then probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by the bullet, Mr. Windibank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. It is! And what we have to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment?
Okay, have they actually moved the body? Because it could have been like a...
Yeah, they have a chalk outline.
Okay, I was gonna say, it could have been shot through the chest, and then it could be an excellent...
No, they autopsied him. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Windibank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it! Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact you would, because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. But their gun only has... I'm not gonna ruin this. I'm sure fucking Van Zieks is gonna bring this up. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. and Mr. Sulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Windibank's murder. That was amazing, Runo! All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now. I know, first time ever, and probably the last. Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll give a verdict of not... Oh no, here he goes. Oh no, oh god, he's laughing! I don't like when he does that!
It's always about to kick your ass.
An admirable effort, my learned friend. Yeah, he's about to show us that the... Yes.
Wheels.
You-
Chicken nuggets.
We don't have any chicken nuggets. Burger Mac, I don't think. He's about to point out that the brother's gun only had one bullet missing. So it couldn't have been their gun. What's this now? He's laughing? You find the situation amusing, Lord Van Zieks. I myself find the defense's argument most persuasive. More wine. Dare say. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial and eastern nation. But such blatant, malicious conjuring tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. That was a lot of insults in one sentence!
We have both.
What? The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. A fatal flaw? Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing? Yes.
We are gonna have to leave.
Early.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Or we'd have to do shopping trip.
It won't be done till 2. That's why I said it has to be done before. The fatal flaw in my learned friend argument is really very simple to understand. Ah, there goes another chalice. You needed it. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets. Yep, that's exactly where I thought he was going with that.
We'd actually have to do, I don't want to do a whole...
No,
lot
just
more
enough
shopping.
for tonight.
Because if they're gonna copy and paste my schedule, my website's gonna be long behind, so I think...
Yeah. We can do that. By George, count bullets. Oh dear. He noticed then. Iris, you could have said something if you noticed! Huh? What's everyone talking about? I noticed! The storekeeper's gun was missing a bullet.
Do you want to play your tablet or
And the
Switch?
bad guy's guns were missing a bullet. The bad guy's gun shot Sholmes.
You can move my jacket. It's not gonna hurt.
Counsel.
And now, Jacket.
Yes, sir.
No, my jacket.
Tell the court how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime. Two? 2 bullets. Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. And the second, that which struck the detective. I hate that he does detective. Mr. Herlock Sholmes on his arrival at the scene.
I
Indeed.
hate the name of it.
You know, they can actually use it now. The Doyle estate, this is the last year they can claim copyright. Because it has a 30-year thing. Can't renew it. So this is the year that everyone can make Sherlock Holmes gay if they wanted. Because they can't say goddamn shit anymore.
He never cared.
No, he never cared, but his family took the rights to it. But the copyright runs out this year for his last 2 stories that they had the rights to. So people can do whatever they want now. Which is good because I hated the rules because they weren't even canonly right. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. Yep. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar. That was a very high angle. Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know there are 2 firearms involved in the incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Windibank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun. Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each. Now then, my learned friend. Rainusuke, don't look so fucking nervous. I know exactly what happened. We just have to get there. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these 2 brothers shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes right before your eyes. Yes, I did. It means... I know. Which means someone else was at the scene. Exactly. Yes, this Nipponese street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. I hate your
Hey,
fucking...
leave his nipples out of it.
Your fucking insults. One of these days you're gonna compliment me. However, it was never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
So cool.
We're only halfway through this game. Oh, there goes the wine bottle. He hasn't done the leg thing and I'm disappointed. He normally puts his leg up on the desk. He hasn't done that. He has thrown the wine glass, smashed it in his glass, and thrown the bottle. So maybe we'll get a leg. Nipples. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hallowed nectar into the public gallery.
Did you hear that? First he's talking about nipples, then he's giving you comments about he won't stand up anymore.
There
Maybe it's
goes
his age.
perfectly great wine. But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can regrettably no longer be described as a juvenile. Yeah, I would think so. No, the person in the dock is far from the law-abiding citizen. Oh no, because she's been a thief since she's been a little kid. So, there's probably like, you do so many things, and it doesn't matter your age, especially back...
Strike rule kind of thing.
Especially in this time period, it's the Sherlock Holmes time period.
That's like that Sweeney Todd one.
Yeah,
The judge is like, you've done it 3 times, now you're gonna hang.
yeah.
And there's like a little 7-year-old.
And he refuses to put his leg up. I know I need that. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question with loathsome intent. He didn't actually have loathsome intent, though. As we can see beyond doubt in this print which depicts her threatening the victim with a murder weapon.
You can't ignore it.
whoa. She just whoa-whoa-who'd you. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present. Oh, there's the music disc. I forgot about it.
She's kind of cute.
Yep, I'm defending her. He didn't do leg because he doesn't have strength because he didn't drink enough blood. I mean, he keeps flinging the bottles. We all know what they're filled with. The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Windibank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. And with none of the subtlety of a pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force.
Brute!
And brazen impudence.
He said brute force.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl would not stoop if pushed, no crime she would not commit. The court forgets that fact at its peril. Oh no, buddy, come on. Shout out to both brute and brute force.
Hold it!
What? Why am I yelling? What? Inspector Gregson? What? Wait, Inspector Gregson interrupted? Yes, Inspector?
What, bitch?
We had a meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and I think it was agreed that this wouldn't be used as evidence. What's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? That's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all. I am unaware of any such meeting. But those were the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent. Do you think this bitch cares? I don't think he cares. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what the government says. This line is enough for you to know. Inspector, I am the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Bitch don't care. He could lose his job. He don't care. Those fries are cold. They're not room temperature by now. They're freezing. Your warning is noted. Thank you. He does not care. Which maybe makes me think that he wants us to win all of these cases, because he doesn't do any other cases but ours. Ever since the first one, he's only taken our cases, so there's some part of him that wants us to win. But he can't obviously just let us win. But he keeps bringing up stuff that he shouldn't. Okay. Bailiff? Okay, can we look at this? Person doesn't care. He gets sick. God, they expand my evidence, which means we're getting more evidence. Okay, let's look at this. Look at this disc. Oh, we can look at the blood and see who it matches. You could play this game if you ever want.
I get so boned.
I'm doing it, but I do it so early and then I get in trouble for not doing the smaller steps. They don't let you jump straight to the evidence. Okay, so we need to see. Case is longer than the rest of the game.
Like, audio.
Yeah, it's a music disc. Green. Green? Wait, that means the blood on the calendar can't be Sholmes. Because this was touched by Edgar Benedict. Which means the bullet hit Benedict? Which means Benedict had to be at the crime scene. This blood has to be Benedict's because he's the only one that got cut by this. We said it earlier. What is it? It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it?
No, it's on the count.
Yeah. But this disc was... She tried to rip it from him and it cut his finger. So that means the blood on the calendar... So what did Sholmes get hit by? Unless the bullet in the calendar is not from the thief's gun, but from the storekeeper's gun, and the bullet in the storekeeper is from the villain's guns. That's what I'm saying, is they assumed that the bullet in the storekeeper is from his own gun, when actually, the bullets are switched. Genius. I've seen this. Me too, I'm sure we're gonna find out. That was the important. Can we? I think it's just gonna show. So this can't be Sholmes's blood. Because Sholmes never touched this disc. So this isn't Sholmes's blood. I was wondering because they said it went through his stomach. The calendar is way up on the door. There's no way the gun would have went through his stomach and went up towards the top of the door.
Have to be laying on the ground.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If the person, because it was dark when we came in the room, none of us saw who fired the gun. So, if the bad guy was running out of the door, this would have made more sense. So what happened? What? Did Sherlock just fall on something? Guess we'll find out. No, I've got so much to tell you. There's nothing more to add. I have so much to add. And it's possible Gina shot the gun at the person running away because she saw Mr. Windibank fall. And she reacted. So she still could have shot the gun, but at a different person. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and arrest in my case. Please don't do this. Don't make me... I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all of 5 minutes. Oh dear, it wasn't even for 5 minutes right now. This to me. Then I'm gonna have to work you all back onto my side just to continue. Not obvious. You're leaving out so many possibilities. I'm gonna have to earn them all back.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
All my hard work. I have to redo. Get you guys back on the thing so we can continue forward. No, we don't. No, but you haven't! I have so much to say, even if Rhinosuke doesn't know! I know! That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. How dare he use it against us? That means he reads your books, Iris. Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. That's beyond any doubt, but she probably did shoot the person running away. We will proceed with the second exam. Yep. Ready. I am so ready to question all of you. Again. Guys, I think they voted guilty. Leg. Okay.
I thought you were supposed to chew the wheels instead of just swallow them, right?
We'll give it to you. ideas. You have to let me do this. I couldn't stand being interrupted like this and not being able to get all my thoughts out there. This is why I could never be a lawyer. I would just interrupt everyone. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, I have ideas. I need to say them.
No, I would have to be the judge. I'd be the one sitting there telling him, okay, dude, shut up.
Not
Objection,
fair.
sustained, shut up.
Iris, the prosecutor's being mean. It's your uncle. You don't know it, but it's your uncle. Just because Ginny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past, it doesn't make her a murderer. The fact that the bottle has a Grim Reaper figure on it should tell me that has to be blood. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor it. I was just talking about blood. A gay ass bottle of wine.
Oh, you do know Francis Ford Coppola has.
I'm sure. Well, I savored the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out. Eventually.
Speaking of coming
The
out,
way they phrase things in this game is my favorite thing. I'm still not over the first part where Cosimo was like, you don't think I can get you off? Yeah, that's how this game phrases stuff, and it's good.
she's gonna shoot him.
That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Here we go! Ah! We're doing face stuff! Slap the face. We haven't done the face slapping this episode.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder? Is that what you're saying? The game is only as dirty as your thoughts, which are pretty dirty, so... well... Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. Might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl had already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through, can't deny it. When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this? I just swiped that only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. I've never actually seen the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh yeah. Oh yes, of course. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? And then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. How much money does that man have? We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we? I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy. Gilden's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it. I already did. Game, I'm so fucking ahead of you. It's only 2 minutes. Yeah, that's press you.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. Have they? Because I feel like they're wrong. Also, the police didn't know about the bullet in the calendar. I did! When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although... Yes... Sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? No, I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I'd have to reconsider my position. Third bullet somewhere on the scene? Could that be possible? Can we prove this? I'm gonna save. Don't make me prove shit, I'm gonna save. Let me just show you then. The third bullet. Oh, Inosuke, don't do this. Don't do this. No. My God. I feel like this would be the only picture that might show something.
What? Back and forth between the two pictures.
Okay.
One is nothing. This one shows that there's like a thing right here, where the other one didn't have a thing, so someone cut into the door. Which is another thing I'm annoyed that we haven't gotten into yet. I hate this. I mean, that was the wound there. Is there any possibility of there? No. That's the other LA bullet was shown. That's a stab wound. No. Oh, I don't know.
Take that!
It passes for a bullet as much as you pass for a lawyer. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. Coming from you, I'm going to take that as meaning not much. Hold on. Hey. I can't hear myself think over that. So loud. His pouch. But we don't have his thing yet, do we? Wait. Do we? I think I'm missing a piece of evidence. I think what we're gonna do is come back to this. Because I think I'm missing a piece of evidence. But I'm assuming Sherlock still has a bullet in him. Or on him. Because the bullet on the calendar has to be the Eggman's. And the bullet in the back. So Sherlock has to have a bullet on him. So we're missing evidence from Sherlock. I'm assuming I can't do anything until he shows up or something?
You can go to bed now.
Yes. That bullet would completely turn things around if there was one. Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere? I think Sherlock has our bullet.
Hold it!
So if I've understood correctly, you need two pictures. A left-eye one and a slightly different right-eye one. Exactly, then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions. So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them. I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. Who the heck is Sherlock? I'm sorry, Herlock Sholmes. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulker brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice.
No, I'm not gonna help you. You're being rude. Every time I give you kisses, you're like, yeah, that. Yeah.
Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir?
You see me not playing.
The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh?
Okay.
I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet had simply vanished from his stomach. Or he was wearing a vest and it never actually went into his stomach, it went into his clothes. Or he fucking kidnapped it because it's Holmes. It's quite inexplicable.
Inexplicable.
Yep, don't you think? Alrighty, Jumpy. I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on... Oh no, what was the fellow's name now? Herlich? Oh no, Herlock? Nope, Harlock? Herlock Sholmes, by any chance? Yes, good lord, it was that Hairlock fellow. Yes. We're playing Sherlock music. I recognize that boy's music. You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? That's right, using the very latest anesthetic techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a finely tuned comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fellow back up. I hate to state... Oh, thank you for the sub, Jumpy! Sholmes has a scalp on him because of you, surgeon. I hate to state the obvious, but... Surely that's because the bullet was still at the scene of the shooting? The counsel for the defense is correct. This clearly shown this photograph or print. That's not it, though! That's not the bullet.
Not the bullet, and don't call me Shirley.
Then mixed in his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar is hanging by the door. It's too high up for that to be it. We need a sample of Herlock's blood, and then that would prove that they don't match. Who do you think I am, son? Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do. As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over. I think it ran out a few hours ago. You're welcome. Thank you. Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Of course I did, and there wasn't a trace of injury. No sign the bullet had left the body at all. That's not the fucking bullet in the wall.
Leave that on. And his hair.
That's the point. The only logical conclusion was the bullet was somewhere in the man's innards, which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser, even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together.
I used to braid your hair.
I think they tried.
It keeps your hair out of your face.
Uh-oh.
Can I pitch you two against each other?
This?
Or do I need to get more evidence? Because number 6 said he was an expert. Talk to me. So much.
Don't even like it.
I do. I like you and I love you.
No.
Did you say you found no bullet? It's not though. It can't be. It can't be the same bullet. So we have a disappearing bullet on our hands. too, but I'm pretty sure I need to talk to number 6.
Oh.
Okay, lady. Should you not be doing that during a live case, though? Telling people what's isn't that illegal? You're a gun expert. Okay. Let's talk.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist. Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. You're a ballistics expert. Who knew? I have much experience with guns. I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme and violent bath of, no, blood of, no, good sir. Extremely violent bloodbaths, perhaps?
The mouse, dude.
He's doing it again!
Dark doors, extremely violent bloodbaths.
Please let the poor rat go. English is very difficult tongue. Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue. You're 6 mouse code. Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. Oh no!
I don't know,
Controller
dude.
dying!
I don't want to ask you nothing else. I want to take a mouse with you.
Right? Poor mouse. There is nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve. He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure. But, if possible, please only in Russian language. He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is he? No, still, we should bear it in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. I got this. Shut up.
Weird guy.
I've got this. We need to get something from Sholmes. He needs to show the fuck up, apparently. I know what we're doing. I know we're shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
So, what's that one's deal?
This one?
No.
I don't know. They just pick random jury people.
Well, that one's a surgery. The other one is most code. The other one's a ballistics expert.
He does a stereoscope stuff. Stereoscope is the cameras that show you in 3D pictures. You
Half the batteries.
versus you.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict.
One.
Shh, Jelly, it's too late for jumping. That we're both up, but you can't be jumping. I know, but it's... We'll see how it goes. Ballistics expert. Hitting. Hit. On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore... Rat mouse. Could be. The bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6. Hello, my name is Villain. Wait, is it pronounced to be villain? Is it supposed to be pronounced villain? Wait,
This game probably.
is it actually supposed to be pronounced villain? That's funny. Pleased to meet you. This apparent contradiction in the facts is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery? I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night, it was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly. The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles, and they were on dog sleds. Mental note, don't ask too many questions. I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow, and the situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound? Then where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me. Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down? Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side. One small piece, very sharp, broke away from the lump. So it hit his clothes. And if he had a bag or anything on, which he normally has like goggles and stuff, it could have broken anything he was wearing. He was wearing a vest, and vests back then would have had pieces of metal. Yeah. It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound. Good gracious. Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me, and that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet. But there was no ice.
No, his face.
Yeah. The shooting happened in a pawnbroker shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Where now? Where exactly was Haley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. We're assuming this area. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
No.
A pouch?
Say I love you.
Go on, Bear. Get up on the couch. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals. It would have shattered the glass, and whatever in the glass probably would have melted. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Well, the fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital as far as I remember. If I may, you have it and you didn't fucking put it in evidence?
Well, apparently he gets put wherever he wants.
Whenever he wants! Everything should be there at the beginning of the fucking trial! While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question, in the antechamber outside the courtroom. And this is what I need for the 3rd bullet from juror number 2. Brain is working. As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case, and you just...
He already said he gets to put whatever he wants.
Apparently, I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Give me. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution present the item in question with all speed. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Look at it! This is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, isn't it? It is.
The blue one.
Yeah. It's almost as if the vial exploded. Exploded?
I hate the way they spell that.
The way they spell it. So that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. It was the glass vial exploding that caused the fellow's injury. His bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into the wall of shop. No! It's
Which
in the
also
pouch!
is green.
No, the green is from her gun. It, goes by blood type. A delightfully complex aroma.
Yeah, so is all the bullshit you're spewing.
Although it has no bearing on the truth of this case. It does! Let me... Give me so I can look at it! Put it in the thing! Let me look! I bet you the bullet's in the fucking pouch! The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective and the other shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of this case remain unaltered. But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man. Yeah, thank you very much. Glad I could help. Give me pouch. Yes. Give me... Hallie's pouch isn't scruffy. Give me this. Just shut up, no one cares. Stop talking. Let me look at it. You stupid bitches, it's right there, you fucking dumbass piece of shit. There's the fucking bullet! Oh, the strap is broken, look. There's a bullet in there, you dumbs. So the bullet in the fucking owner of the pawnbrokery is not a bullet from either fucking gun. The third bullet. The jelly. Alright with the jumping. Don't wanna look at anything else in this? They're all very flammable. Oh, Jesus. No wonder it exploded. We're lucky the bullet actually existed still. Now that looking at the bullet tells us much. There's nothing special. Yeah, there's nothing special about the bullet, really. I'm assuming you just need to have the bullet. Okay, okay, okay. No, I've got this. Shut the fuck up. I've got this. I got this. Shut up. Was it you or you? It was you.
Hold it!
Careful.
Swords.
Take that!
Look at that confidence. Look at that confidence! We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question, Winterbank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
Shut the fuck up. I love you, but shut the fuck up. What is this new trickery you nipple-knees conjurer?
What is this new trickery, you nipple tweaker? That's what he said.
Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to
or
hospital.
You just handed it to him, you fucking
And since then, it has been touched by no one. You told a vampire to shut the fuck up, your funeral. I'm comfortable with it. The shot was fired by the Silken brothers that night. Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. But that's not. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted in the court record as evidence. Yes, that of Mr. Winterbank, and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet has been fired from each. That's right. We now know on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Oh, I've never seen him do that! We got him good! That was a very pretty expression he made. Actually, I bet he just have bitten you a long time ago with the learned thing. Maybe. You know what? I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Me either, I'd watch.
I can do biting. The court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built.
I think that's the whole point of being a defense attorney.
As in my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. Oh, the judge has never done that. He's just gonna be like, no, you can't vote guilty right now. Because we're missing evidence. Were you listening to the proceedings of the defense carried out the summation examination? Perhaps we can dispense with a tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? I'm gonna murder you and I'm gonna let him. Is it one of yours? In that case, did you have an accomplice? How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Looking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear that what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Sculptor brothers. Had a secret accomplice. On that night at Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a 3rd man. When the music stops, I know I've gotten it right, and I love that about this game. The music just stops. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present, someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
I thought you were gonna eat that, to be honest. An accomplice, you say? Egg swill. Well, that was a new one! You've never said that!
Okay, you sassy bitch, just because you...
Those protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has been not a murmur of a 3rd man. Actually, there has. Actually, there has. They said he, when they were trying to cover up their lies. They've said it, we just didn't get to focus on it. I know who it was. It was Eggman. If this apparently wraith-like being exists... Oh, there it goes. The court must be shown hard evidence. I feel bad for whoever makes those chalices for you, bro. I hope you pay them so much money. Yeah. No. He's a boy.
You just said yeah.
I couldn't hear you!
Then listen when I'm talking to you.
No, it was Iris' father, that one guy you were talking about. The dead guy? Jumpy? Her father's dead.
No, you just said...
Oh yeah, I said girl. Not a sexual thing for me. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Oh no. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. We have blood. Yeah, her dad's dead, Jumpy. He can't be the cause of this. He's dead. And secondly, we The identity of this spurious character. I know who it is. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, Counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity, even. Once the prosecution demands, my lord, the defense is... I would assume ready to at least talk about the bloodstain, right? Yeah, dead. We need more evidence, but... I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. No! We would know because the bloodstain... Eggman cut himself on the disc, so we know who the bloodstain belongs to. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. Now I know why he... Oh, we're doing the... face smacking again. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it'll make a difference. Now the question is, which piece of evidence first? The bullet one? The girl who slid through the air vents. None of that is applicable to this case. In that case, Counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof do you have that there was a third intruder? It has to be...
Take that!
I'm going to assume it's the blood, right? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. Okay, game. Game has to give me choice. Okay? Well, which one is it? Oh, okay, do I do this one? Save right now. Okay, I'm assuming this one first. Because the other bloodstain will give us his identity. What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such. No, it's her chemical that gives you blood type. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain? Don't do this to me. Don't be sassy. Green blood? Curious, even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? Says the man unhuman creaturing in the corner over here. It's something... Actually, there's no proof he's a vampire. He looks like one. It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. By the great detective! New invention. He has it right here. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements. Blood type, I'm assuming. They've never classified, but I'm assuming it has to be blood type. Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar showed that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterbank was killed. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Well, the Spoken brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Oh, boy.
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. I got you! Hold on, bitch. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Learned. I will say learned all I want. This is my stream! The alleged third intruder. This man. Right fucking here.
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict. You don't know what you're talking about. I love you. We had this conversation with Jumpy. I'm gonna say learned.
I am Frank.
The Eggman! Paid a visit to Windabank's pawnbroker in the afternoon before the incident took place, when the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Fruit is on board with... I'm sure he is, but I like to say learned. I know. I'm gonna say learned. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Of course he can. Yes, my lord. There's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Winterbolt for a print showing the fellow. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder gubbinesses. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Winterbank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. Sulkin? Sulkin. I have proof. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls playing our nip on these friends' actual assertion. I don't know why I want to say assertion with that word. Which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, the way he had... You're gonna hurt yourself. Yes, and I can. Got this. This is the last piece of evidence. A feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start, but now I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel?
Yes, fucking hurry up.
The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man in the picture from the photograph print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet.
Take that!
Oh wait. It's in the portfolio, right? I don't have to actually pull the actual disc, do I? I see you share my interest in claret-colored liquids, my Nipponese friend, but... Enough! The court demands to see further evidence. Got this. Got this. I got this!
Take that!
As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windebalt's. Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. I want to know how you drew blood with gloves on in the first place, but we're gonna ignore that. And I find that I don't care, Jumpy. Yep. But
Okay, about what?
whether it's learned or learned, I don't care.
Learned is what you do. Learned is what you become. After
Well,
you
it
learn
sounds
something.
stupid.
It's an English thing. Are you bothered?
I'm gonna be.
Fucking thing.
Being a music boss-disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. These protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty Folga gun.
Handy, no.
Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio. It's green! The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Edgar Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime the same night. My lord, it is in the opinion of the defense that Mr. Edgar Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
Don't objection me. This has gone on long enough now, this flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? English with that name. Yes, I've heard you're about to insult him. These two know each other very closely. They used to be best friends. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, a god of protection of some sort. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green, what of it? This to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world will turn the same color. Well... Oh my god, there's the leg! He hasn't done it the whole fucking episode! Why? I hope we're not getting in trouble for yelling. I know. And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. How about we take Eris's word, you know, the 10-year-old. Let us show off. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? The way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Halley's invention. That's your uncle. You're insulting your uncle. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite the devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Runo. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. After that shrewd presses of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. Proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. When we know like 3 of them like Holmes. So...
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
Oh. Take 4 out of 6. One syllable or legged 2 syllables. Legged 1 syllable. 2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection.
You don't get to object to that! You don't get to object to the jury. They're the ones who make the final fucking decision. You don't get to object to that. You don't get to do this. My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. You don't have to fucking accept it. Suck my dick. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. Which means no one can be judged, so you've just proven my point here.
Sorry, Lord Vanderzeeks, but you can suck it.
But the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Also, you just called the... I love when he does that. You just called the whole jury stupid, by the way. Let me point that out. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false. Fuck it, Van Zeeks! I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there that night. I knew that name had to be fake. I mean, look at that name. I request Bert's expert opinion on the legged matter.
Not Sebastian Cumberbatch.
He could still fucking name. He could still have something that sounds like Cumberbatch. Is it legged or legged? Jumpy wants to know. Oh no, Jumpy, what's the context? Just when I managed to... No, I said that already. What was that, please?
Legged horse.
Yeah, see, three-legged man I'm okay
Or a
with.
three-legged race.
If we're just talking about... I think
If it's talking about...
we're talking about Van Zeek's full leg situation.
If it's talking about a description, then
Two-legged.
it's legged. Ownership, then it's...
Yeah. Yeah, two-legged men. Okay. Yeah. Is this boyfriend number 2? Is this Sholmes?
It's like the difference between thine and thy.
Sholmes that just spoke up? Oh no, it was her. Okay, never mind. I thought it was Sholmes.
Thy bad decision, and...
What have you to say, madam? If possible, Vector. I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again? The one in which the gentleman is shown? Yeah, it's basically. No doubt in my mind. You're number 5, you don't mean to say. She knows him. Oh, he said it's 1 syllable for two-legged. 2 syllables for three-legged. Yeah, because you can't own 3 legs. It's like more like a...
I do.
You know this man?
Stopped you right in the sentence.
Yes, I know him. What? Hmm. Juror number 5, how on earth? I'm a communications officer. As we can clearly see. I think it's always 2 syllables. It's not. A two-legged man. You say it just like that. Also a communications officer. He works in my office. A very talented operator, in fact.
She has a different... I've always said 2 syllables. I've never got confirmation.
But I've heard it two-legged. Like a two-legged horse. You should be in the communication station now, tapping away on the telegram. This doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. Root is correct. I think we're both correct in this one, because I've heard it both ways.
Because whatever you get exposed to with that learned and learned thing, very specific.
Okay, I'm still doing it learned.
Okay, whenever. Did you just derp at me and go like, okay?
Yes, I did. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that is. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. Oh yeah, it's the prosecution's job to bring everything in here. We shall reconvene. We're not finishing this tonight. My hip is killing me. I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess.
Well.
Okay.
What'd you do? Oh, wait, Michael's my wicked him.
Very well, court is adjourned till 1:40 p.m. That's a very specific time. Not fucking 2 p.m. Weird. That had so much happening.
That was a very tiring session.
Yeah. It was. And we're gonna leave it there. And I will pick it up Wednesday, because tomorrow we're gonna play Prey.
Yep, and next time you see us, we'll be very learned men.
I'm gonna lick you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Take care.
Later, Debbie.